Cool. Well, we're live, man. So it's great to see you. I'm glad you're here.
Yep.
Kind of, we were gonna do it tomorrow night, but you showed up a little early tonight.
Unexpected.
And dude, like I'm super pumped that you showed up. And but I wanted to bring you on here, man, because I've been doing quite a bit of business with you guys over the course of several years. And hold on one second. So yeah, I wanted to bring you on here because like I've been using you guys for my taxidermy for a long time, and so I have a lot of questions, and I kind of wanted you to like tell us or tell me, you know, how you got started in doing this, and I'm kind of interested, like, how'd you guys come up with the name of your guys's? I know you guys started doing the processing. Was it last year or?
Yeah, actually, we just started, like, I think it was 2017 that we started the processing business. We've had the taxidermy business for, my dad's been doing it for 30 years, and then my great grandpa, he started in, I think it was 1984.
Wow.
Is when he started, and it was called Wildlife Lakes. That's where everything originally started. So.
Gotcha. And so was he around when you were kind of coming up and doing
My
taxidermy?
great-grandpa?
Yeah.
No, he was around, but by the time I was old enough to really understand anything, my dad had already started his own, and my grandpa was starting to get sick. He was getting older by the time I was starting to understand things, learn what taxidermy really was. So.
Yeah. And your dad's been doing it since he was
since he was like old enough to understand, just like me, that's where it all started. When I was old enough to really understand what anything was, I was already around taxidermy, and so was my dad. That's just how long he's been doing it. So it's just been something that's been going on forever.
Yeah.
So
and for our listeners, it's their taxidermy is it's Long Road Farms taxidermy and processing.
Yeah,
right?
and then I have my waterfowl separate. It's North Carolina waterfowl.
North Carolina waterfowl.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just strictly doing waterfowl birds.
Yep.
And specializing kind of in that stuff.
Yep.
And dude, when I was up there the other day, I was pretty blown away by that redhead you had that was like turning. Okay. Explain what was that about?
So the redhead I had hanging up on the wall, it's actually the same customer as this bird right here. So it's when they're coming in, if you have the right decoy spread or whatever it might be, they start getting, all kinds of turns going on, and sometimes they'll flip all the way upside down, and that redhead it's like it's coming into a decoy or whatever, wild birds, whatever it might be, but I have it flipped upside down like it's coming in that way.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And most people don't do stuff like that. Like most people in the taxidermy industry will do like basic stuff. Like most of the time you don't get people doing, different stuff. That's my game. I like trying to do whatever's different.
Dude, yeah. And everything I see you produce, you're pumping out is like really good, dude.
I appreciate it.
And that's the thing is like, I really wanted to get you on here because like, how old are you?
18.
You're how old?
18.
Say that again in the mic.
18.
18?
Yeah.
Bro, you are super talented, man.
I appreciate it.
Like this mallard duck here is like, this is magnificent. Like this is beautiful work, man. For 18 years old, dude, that's a special thing. And to be able to like have that register as a small kid and listening to your dad and like going through that process, take me back to like when you were like 12 years old. Is that kind of when you started like picking things up with him, being around him? I know you guys hunted since you were freaking in diapers.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, like...
Yeah, it started, like you said, 12. I'd say a little bit before that, to be honest with you. I was constantly in my dad's shop. I was picking everything, all of his tools up, throwing everything out. I was constantly around the shop and messing with stuff. And then I started picking up, I started mounting deer before I did ducks. I mounted deer for a couple of years. And then, like I said, my dad got out of waterfowl. And then he was talking about... letting me get into the waterfowl myself because he was going to let it go. He wasn't interested in it because his specialty is turkeys.
Yeah.
And so I started picking it up. I was not the best at it. You have to start. Everybody has to start. And then I started picking it up and just going from there and messing with it on my own.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so when when you were that age, like, was he kind of like, were you just following him, or were you like, would he give you tasks like as a small kid?
He definitely did. Yeah, like he would have me like turning hides for him, like, green hides that we had just skinned out, or I'd skin the deer heads for him. He constantly had something for me to do. It was all the time. I mean, I was doing everything he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd do all the stuff that I guess you could say he didn't want to do, the smaller stuff. But that's what I'm saying. I was learning, so it didn't really matter. And, he'd pay me a little bit for each thing I did. So,
yeah,
teaching me how to do business. And that's always, I mean, hey, I've always watched him do stuff, starting, that's where I've, God first, but, my dad, secondly, he's taught me everything I know of how to do business. So.
And you guys have like a really good family, man. Like I'm really, I'm super blessed to know you guys, and
same with y'all.
I love
y'all's family.
Yeah, man. We're your dad and I, we've been buddies for quite a while now, and as you as well. And he's got a lot of positive things to say about you, and he's super proud of you as a kid. And I mean, when I look at someone like that, man, I'm like, dude, I want to do that for my kid. You know what I mean? Because it's such a special thing. Exactly. I mean, obviously, we're probably not going to get into the taxidermy business, but you know what I mean? Like, that's really cool to, be able to be like close with your dad. Because I was really close with my dad. He passed away back in 2009. But, just to see that and see you guys, working together and have this taxidermy business. Like, I'm sure it's not all rainbows and sunshines all the time, right? It's family business, but at the end of the day, like, you guys are producing a really good product. And I've seen you guys have grown quite a bit lately, right?
Yeah, the last couple of years, especially with, we were doing, just taxidermy originally, and then the long grow came into play the last couple of years. Like I said, 2017 is about the time we really got it kicked up with that. And the first year or so, it wasn't, it was a start for processing, and then we ended up going into, we've definitely grown the last couple of years with doing that. So.
Yeah, and so you guys are processing like what, like all game animals, or are you guys doing anything just outside of?
Just deer specifically. We've had a lot of people ask about, different things, like, I mean, from sheep to goats, I mean, crazy stuff. We thought about doing cows, but it's just, man, deer season is such a...
Dude.
It's a haul, dude. You have to grind it out. And by the time deer season comes to an end, you're ready to be done. You're ready to be done for good and start on to something else. So,
yeah.
I'm thankful it's over. So.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember one night I came over there and I just jumped in just to mess around with you guys because I like hanging out over there. And then, dude, like, there's truck after truck after truck after truck. And I'm like, and you all were like, yeah, pretty much by the end of the day, like, I can't even move my hands.
Yeah,
like, it's ridiculous ripping all this hides off and cutting, boning, all that shit.
It's good for you. I mean, it's a good workout every day, but man, it's exhausting after a while. Especially after 3 long months of it. It's a haul.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know much about taxidermy. I mean, obviously, your dad's done a lot of stuff for me. You've done, I don't know who's done what, but I would imagine you all at your company have done pretty much all my stuff here.
Exactly.
Except for, I think, a few. But take me through the process of, like, what's the process behind doing this?
As far as
this duck, like, as far as, like, from the moment you receive it, and how about maybe even how you like to receive them, right? Yeah. Like, there's kind of a step, like your dad was telling me, because I was like, okay, so if I bring you some birds, how do you, he goes, go down to Walmart, grab you some pantyhose, shove the bird in some pantyhose.
My dad.
And then, like, he's like, just time, knot it off and stick it in your bag. Don't, don't get, and so that way you guys can receive it so shit's not all messed up. It helps you guys obviously preserve the bird a little bit better, but take me through the process of, like, from the moment you receive this bird and kind of how, you don't have to, it's probably hard to explain to some people, but break that down.
The basic stuff.
Yeah, give me the basics on that. That's cool.
So basically, like you said, I mean, I like to tell people, to do the same thing with the pantyhose. My dad's older school, obviously with that, but he's right about that. My dad, that's just the way, that's the way he taught me how to do it. So, and it does, like, a pantyhose, it sounds crazy. Like, you'll be in a Walmart getting pantyhose, some dude over there standing in the aisle trying to get them, it's goofy, but once you get them, man, it keeps everything compact. Like, you take a bag and put it in a bag, the feathers are able to get all over the place and get combusted up and be, turn into something you don't want it to be. So yeah, you put it in the pantyhose, you bring it to me after you killed it and everything. And then I like to, number, name, sometimes address. I don't take a deposit. I like to do deposit or the payment after you pick it up.
Right.
So, I'll take it, I'll freeze it, and then I have to get measurements, size things up with the bird. You have to skin it, take everything out. So basically you're taking everything out and putting everything back in the best you can. Like you look at everything after you take it out and try to put it all back in the same and try to make it, you're obviously not going to get it, you're not going to get it to what God makes it to be, but you're going to try to get it as close as you can. And, so you'll get all your equipment, put everything back in once you measure it, form, neck, you got to get eyes, silicone. You have all kinds of things. It just depends on how you like running it in your shop, whatever's your favorite thing to use for it.
Gotcha.
And then you put it all back together. There's a washing and drying process. That's the thing with birds. If you don't know how to wash and dry the correct way, especially getting a bird like super, super dry, the way it's supposed to be without drying the skin out. If you don't know those steps, that's the main thing, skin prep. So
yeah. And so like, as far as like taking care of the bird, do you guys freeze them or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like as soon as I get them in, I'll name them, number them, and then I'll freeze them until I get to that bird, like to when I'm caught up to your bird, then I'll take it out and start taking measurements.
Right. And you guys are, and so about like roughly, you guys get a lot of birds. Mm-hmm. So, this is, you guys take your time on doing them. This is not a rush job. Mm-hmm. You guys are trying to do the best you can possibly do. I've seen you in there working. I know you guys are very tedious at what you do. Right. And, you're producing high level stuff here. About how long would you say like something like this would take typically?
It just depends. Like, it's like you were saying, like, it depends on how many I have and, what my time range is really. I ask everybody to give me 5 to 6 months on my birds, but I always try to, turn them back out before then, surprise my customer really early. That's like you were saying, I'm constantly in the shop, day and night, all day, unless I have something going on. Yeah. I try to get them back within the first 2 to 3 months. If I'm, really grinding it out. If I'm not grinding out, being slack, it's going to take me a whole lot. It's going to take me closer to that 5 to 6 month range that I was talking about.
Right. So. Yeah. It's pretty wild, dude, to see this. Like, and do you guys? I know you guys do some like airbrushing and stuff on these. Yeah, like as far as the details and everything like that.
My birds, like my feet,
this thing's so wicked.
Yeah, the
nice,
feet, the bill, everything. I do airbrushing on, and that's really all you can do on a duck with airbrushing. Is the feet and the bill. That's most people like old timers. They'll use like some guys still paint stuff. Like they'll actually take a brush and paint it.
No kidding.
If you're amazing at that, if that's your gift to be able to paint with a paintbrush. So be it, but mine's an airbrush. My dad put me on an airbrush when I was little because, back when he used to mess with birds a long time ago before I took that side over, he airbrushed everything, so he put me right. That's all I know, is how to use an airbrush. I can paint with a paintbrush. It's not going to look like that. So.
Right, no, exactly. Because when I was in there the other day, I went in there and I was like, dude, these look like fucking real turkey feet, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, Eric, shout out to Eric, by the way, that's his dad. Yep. I was like, I don't know. I feel stupid, dude, because I don't know nothing about this stuff. That's why I'm interested to learn it. Right. It's really cool. I'm not interested in doing it, but it's really fascinating to me. Yeah. And so that turkey foot, dude, that was laying. I think it was turkey feet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he was, anyways. And, dude, it was like, looked exact. It looked fucking like this, dude. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Those heads, too. Those heads he's been
doing. That's what it was. It was the heads, too.
It's
Holy
Shane
shit.
Smith. Shane Smith Systems. It's, anybody that does taxidermy needs to, if you're into birds or turkeys, whatever it might be, upland, Shane Smith has gotten his stuff down to like a absolute pattern on turkey heads. And if you know how to paint good, my dad, that's just like with those heads, he can make them look pretty real.
Yeah. Who's Shane Smith?
That's he's one of the biggest waterfowl taxidermists in the world. He's a world champion waterfowl taxidermist, and I actually I took some classes with him a while back ago on my birds too. I've worked with him some.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he's amazing. He does he's first of all, mainly his mountain birds is amazing, and then he's got all of his forms, heads, feet. He just came out with some feet and necks that are a game changer on things. So
Really?
and the heads, the turkey heads are great too, and those feet, those duck feet. If you don't have good feet, check out Shane Smith feet. His new feet in McKenzie Taxidermy book is they're top notch.
Really?
You can paint them, make them look real.
Is that what these are?
No, those are real feet. Yeah, because those
okay.
weren't shot. But if I have some shot up feet, sometimes people when they shoot a bird, it'll be destroyed, and you can't use the real ones.
How do you procure the feet? What do you got to do?
You have to inject those right there. You have to inject them with an injection that hardens in the inside of them.
I got you.
And that's not really preserving them. They don't have enough meat to really rot. That just makes it hard in the inside so they don't dry up. Because if you don't inject them, they'll dry up like hard as this table, and they don't look full. Like a wild bird is full of blood and meat. Obviously it looks live, but if you don't, it'll dry up. You have to have something in the inside of them to make it look back real, because they'll all dry out.
Yeah. So. And when you're doing like the wing placement and everything like that, is that per what the customer wants?
Yeah. Whatever.
Like when I bring those little, the ruddy duck and something like you have a specific style per bird as to like how they are in the ecosystem that they are in, right?
Exactly.
So everything's kind of you're basing it off of that. Like explain what that is. Like for instance, like what a ruddy duck versus like a mallard. Like how are you going to probably approach that?
I like to go off of I like to mount my birds off of a natural, like you were saying, if you get a picture offline that's from a different taxidermist that's already been put on the wall, if they don't know how to position wings or whatever it might be, most guys will bring me that. They'll be like, I found this picture online I want to mount. And they're like, it looks nothing like a wild bird. And it's like, dude, let's find a different. I can do something close to exactly what you want, and I can do exactly this if you want to, but I'd rather find a picture of the same species, male or female, that's a wild bird, not something that's already been mounted, because it's so hard to go off of something that's already been mounted. So.
That's like the tattoo game too.
Exactly.
It's like, Taylor hates when someone brings the exact same photo someone else has.
Exactly. And shout out to Taylor, his wife. She did this for me. She hooked me up.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
It's great.
Yeah, I love it, dude.
I feel she does a great job. Her stuff's great.
You have better tattoos than me, dude. I look at them, I'm like, dude, I'm like a rotten pin cushion, dog. But no, dude, they look great. Your turkey feather turned out badass, dude.
She did a great job.
Yeah, that's sick.
My bad, because I haven't put anything on it to brighten it up.
Yeah, don't show anybody that, dude. We don't want people to know that she specializes in wild game.
She'll be completely overrun.
I know.
But yeah, she does a great job.
Yeah, man.
A great job.
She would appreciate that. When she listens to this, she's going to be like, ah. But yeah, so I don't know, dude. It's like super fascinating. And do you guys, so obviously you're keeping up on the industry on like what things are changing and things like that. So, and you're saying you were going to classes to like, up your game and things like that. And then we talked about, you kind of like to do different stuff that's not kind of the norm, I guess you would say. What different things are you doing versus what you kind of normally see in the industry of taxidermy?
Like with waterfowl?
Yeah.
Most of the time you're going to have people do like the basic left to right on the wall, right to left, cupped up, ducks. I mean, it's just I feel like everybody does the same thing with that. Now with me, like if you can come up with something that'll look natural, like it looks real, like a duck would actually do, but one of the craziest things you'd actually see a duck do. That's like what I'm the most interested in, because when I'm doing my job, I do this every day, all day. It's I want it to get interesting. I want to be like, I want somebody to come in and walk in my shop and be like, dude, this is crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that attracts more business, and not only that, but it makes my job great. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because the norm's kind of. You see it. Yeah. When I saw that duck all flipped up, right side up, kind of curved, I was like, that's wild, dude.
Down. Yeah. Most people don't do stuff like that.
It's really cool, man. And you guys, I know you had a couple big old swans in there too. Are you doing those as well?
Yeah, those.
Where were those killed at here?
Thunder swans. I think they were killed at the coast. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I can't remember exactly where they told me they were killed. But yeah, the thunder swan is, anybody that does taxidermy knows, waterfowl, that thunder swans are no fun, dude. They're a different game. They're a different ball game. And you have to charge quite a bit, and that people don't understand that. You give a price, and people are like, I can't believe I had to pay this, but they don't know. They have no clue what goes into the work for a tundra swan. They're ridiculous.
That's crazy. And so, like, just because of how big they are and how many feathers there is,
you have to take the wings off of them and stuff and put them back on. It's just a whole ordeal.
Wow. So. And did you recently just got back from Kansas?
Yeah.
What were you doing out there?
Yeah, I went to Wichita, Kansas for
Wichita.
about 10 or 12 days. We were duck hunting, and actually went out there. I called a guy that me and my dad went turkey hunting with. It's actually I was going to shout him out at CNS Whitetails, and they're now as far as their whitetail hunting, dude, it's immaculate. Like they had so much land out there. We were seeing tons of big deer. If anybody watching this video wants to go on a whitetail hunt in Kansas, it's definitely CNS Whitetails. But yeah, we went out there, or I went out there by myself to meet up with them guys. Shane Onick. I've known him for a while. Me and my dad's known him for the last couple of years, so we went turkey hunting out there. They do turkey hunts and duck hunts like on the side, but like I said, deer is their main thing. And so yeah, I went out there with them, messaged him over Instagram. I wanted to go on a hunt this year. I was looking, avidly looking for something to go on. And I asked him, I was like, do you have anything open? And he was like, no, everything's booked. But being that I knew him, he was like, you can come out here and help guide. Because, he's seen that I duck hunt and stuff. I know somewhat about what I'm doing. And so I went out there to help him guide. I took, we worked together. I helped him, any grunt work or anything he needed done around the shop or anything, I helped him with. And then I was able to hunt too as well. We killed a slew of ducks out there. It was great. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was a once in a lifetime trip. Oh, dude, it was ridiculous. It was
brutal, right?
It was down in the teen. It was low teens. Yep. So
dude, Kansas can get fucking cold.
Yeah, it was rough. We were busting ice. Actually, on the way out there, I stopped in Tennessee and got 2 ice eaters. You're talking about 7 to 8 inch ice, dude. It was crazy. So, yeah, we had to cut through all that. We went out there with chainsaws and cut the holes out and got the ice eaters running. We didn't even get the ponds open for a couple of days after I was there because we had to let the ice eaters eat, yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was a wild.
So you had to do what? You guys had to go out there and cut?
Yeah, we had to walk out on the ice. The water's not deep. It wasn't that. Don't get me wrong on that. It wasn't dangerous. Right. But yeah, we went out there on the ice and just took the chainsaw. We had to take electric chainsaws, go out there and just cut squares and put ice eaters, to where it'll keep water pushing out on top of the ice to unthaw it so we can get birds in there.
Right.
So yeah, that was a job, but
and they came in, yeah.
No, well, when I got there, it was like you were saying, it's so cold. Everything was frozen. We started running those ice eaters, and the birds weren't there yet. They hadn't found the open bodies of water, so we were actually hunting rivers when I got there. So it was, the rivers were flowing water. So, we had birds coming in there the whole time, because that's all they had was the rivers to come back in and use those bodies of water until, the ponds opened up because of warmer weather. But, dude, it was cold. It was just, it was a whole different level. You can look at my Instagram posts and, I didn't, I was hunting with Drake waterfowl stuff, I didn't have Sika, but, Sika was definitely, I've always made fun of Sika, but then, I went out there and it was like Sika gear. I had to borrow some of their stuff because it was too cold for, normal stuff like I'm used to wearing. Yeah. It was ridiculous, dude. And I ended up buying some Sika while I was there too because I was like, it's
pretty warm stuff.
It was worth it, yeah.
Yeah.
For that kind of hunting. But I obviously wouldn't wear it around here because it don't get that cold. But out there, yeah, Sika it proved its name for sure.
Really?
Yeah, it was cold.
That's interesting. I know they're higher than hell, aren't they? Expensive shit, right? I've had the same stuff forever, bro. I'm not like, you know what I mean? I'm a thick boy, bro. So I get cold as fuck, but dude, that's a different cold, bro. That is a different cold. Now, the first whitetail I ever killed was in Missouri. Mm-hmm. Cold.
Yeah, exactly.
So cold. I lived there for a couple years, and dude, I remember like some of these ice storms that would come in, bro.
Yeah.
So brutal, man. It's like a different cold up there because you get the wind and,
exactly. Yeah, and Sika, no, dude, they're expensive.
They're legit though.
But it's real deal.
Yeah.
It backs up. That's why people pay it because it backs its name up. It's good.
Right. So. And did you see any bucks out there? You said,
dude, it was crazy. I was looking. We'd ride down the road. We'd see, like I said, Shane Onick on his properties and stuff that he had leased and had permission to hunt. We were seeing just like 130s, 140s, 50s walking around. We were actually watching them with binoculars, waiting on them to shed. So we could go pick their sheds up. That's how big these deer were. They wasn't just especially from somebody from North Carolina. I was like, let me stick the rifle out the truck window.
Dude.
But season was out.
Yeah.
And I didn't have no tag. Obviously, I wouldn't do that. But that's like the way it made me feel because
crazy.
It was wild.
It's different. They don't have they're different. They're different deer up there, buddy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's you see them walking around, and there's guys up there going,
No, they're picky.
I'm like, bro,
if
that was here,
yeah,
it'd be fucking dead, bro.
It's few and far in between on those size deer.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen some nice bucks. Yeah, well, yeah.
But yeah, out there they're picky, dude. They'll sit in the stand, especially like rich dudes that have been out there several times every year, and now they'll go out there and they'll be like, "Nah, I'm not gonna shoot that 150. I'm just gonna let him pass."
Yeah,
but you know, a good looking 150 too. You know,
how many acres do they have? Do they lease? They probably lease a lot of it, right?
I can't remember. Yeah, he does.
Thousands, I'd imagine.
It was a lot. I can't remember exactly how
much.
What's
the name of that place? It's called
C and S Whitetails.
C and S Whitetails.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look them up on Instagram, or then he'll have his number and all that stuff on there. You can contact him.
And he does turkey hunting too. You said
he does. Yeah, that's how I found him. Actually, me and my dad found him a couple years ago with turkey hunting, and we went out there and actually killed some turkeys with them. So
nice.
And then he followed me on Instagram, and we kind of chatted back and forth, and I seen videos of him posting ducks and stuff, and it looked like it was, they were getting into some good stuff. So that's when I ended up messaging him.
Did you drive out there?
I did. Yeah, it was brutal, but
a long drive.
Yeah,
dude.
It's about 18 hours. It was it was rough, but I mean, it was once you get on out there and things start changing from around here. The driving I feel like gets better, like it's more interesting than just a normal drive.
Yeah, well, it's different. It's pretty flat, but it's interesting. It's really cool to see, like, when you go in from, like, well, really, once you get pretty much into, like, halfway into Missouri, and then you go up into Kansas City, get through, into Kansas, it's pretty flat.
It is,
It's really cool, though. It's beautiful country.
Getting out there,
It's really beautiful country. My family's in the northern part of Missouri, so, it's just, it's a lot different. There's so many trees here in North Carolina.
Yeah, you get out there, dude. It's like,
and you're like, where the fuck are the deer at?
Well,
bro?
everything's
That's what's
like
crazy.
That, dude. Everything out there is like that. Like I was like, I don't understand where the deer, the turkey,
they're there
and
though.
Then, but like once, like after riding around with him for a couple hours, because he's constantly looking at ground, scoping stuff out, and like riding around with him for a couple hours, he's pointing stuff out and like what to look for, being with him because he sees it every day.
Yeah,
and it made it so much easier for me. And then I started picking up on it, and I was seeing everything. I was like, just like you were saying, like when I got there, I didn't know where to look. I mean, it was just flat and, bushes and stuff. That was it. I mean, I didn't know where, I didn't expect for it to be the deer or the turkey, ducks, anything that was out there. I mean, it was really surprising, but they have so much more than we do. Like the game and stuff, it's so much more plentiful out there. And I feel like it's because of the crops and stuff. Like it's so much land out there, and they have so much food for them out there. I feel like that's why, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like that plays a big part in it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, definitely the food,
the corn and all that
stuff. The stuff that they're getting. Yeah. I mean, and I was listening. I can't remember who it was that I was listening to talking about that. Those deer are actually a different species of whitetail.
Right.
So they're definitely a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and I was actually going to look this up. I think the deer that are up there, and I might be getting into some weeds here, but I was listening to someone, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I'm going to have to go dig into this, but something I was reading, and I don't know what the hell, but it was basically talking about, like, obviously they're whitetail deer, but they're different species of whitetail deer.
Right.
Like, they're, like, clearly you see a deer here is much smaller than a deer there.
Exactly.
Obviously, the food plays a big role in it.
Yeah, but it's body too, dude.
Dude, they're huge,
They're
bro. A doe there is, like, way bigger than, like, a mature buck here.
They had a doe contest.
So that can't be.
It was. I seen one of the biggest does I've ever seen in my life. It was crazy. I mean,
hundreds of pounds.
Yeah,
dude.
they're ridiculous. I don't know why it's like that. Everything in Kansas is bigger, dude. It just is.
It is.
And turkeys, that's what me and my dad were talking about when we went out there.
Were they bigger?
Hunting, dude, it's crazy. They're bigger too. The heads are so much bigger. Me and my dad were talking about, like, the heads on the turkeys out there. Just, I mean, that's something we were laughing about. It's just like they're ginormous. Everything about it. It just seems like everything's bigger and better in Kansas.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I enjoyed it out there. Dude.
Mule deer. You get to hunt mule deer in the northern part of the state.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. Well, northwest.
Yeah.
Part of the state. I actually was looking up last night. Actually today. I take that back. I signed up today because I was, like, looking at potentially, like, drawing a tag there or something. you know, because they do have some draws and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd
so
be really cool.
I would like to go out there and hunt.
Absolutely.
Just because, I mean, I love hunting in North Carolina. It's my favorite thing to do ever. But
yeah, it's amazing too.
But when you go out there and you see 160, 170 inch deer,
it changes your mind.
Yeah, you're just like, damn, dude. Yeah. Like, you know, should I even get these mounted if they're big here? You know what I mean? Versus there, it's like, dude, like. And do you guys get a bunch of people coming in from out of state? Like,
yeah, we do. I mean, we get we have a couple different guys a year that will bring us stuff from out of state. Yeah, we do.
What's the wildest thing you guys have seen that someone's bringing you?
Probably, I don't know, to be honest with you. We've had some crazy stuff. We've had people try to bring us, I mean, now we don't, my dad kind of has a limit on that. Like we've had people try to bring us monkeys, you know, cats, dogs.
Oh, nice.
Dude, you know, every taxidermist has that, but my dad cut that out. Yeah, like people try to get like monkeys holding stuff.
Oh,
in
that'd be
their hands,
sick.
Dude. It's
dude.
crazy. I mean,
I would put that shit in here, dude, on the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
And the thing is that most people, some taxidermists have like, there's different types of taxidermists. Like that's when I feel like people look at us like or look at me. I try to make myself a little bit different because some people with taxidermists will look at those people that do monkeys and only like cats and dogs and stuff. Like something's not right there, dude. Like, you know, like cats, dogs, like people's pets, like chickens and stuff. Like, dude, I don't know. Like we won't take any of that. We only take like, you know, wild game that, you know, we don't do any weird stuff like that. That's why I hate people, you know, they're like, you're a taxidermist, you know, you're 18 years old. I'm like, yeah, but I don't mount people's dogs and cats.
No,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Do you guys, when you do, will you guys do like full size animals or anything like that?
Yeah, like, my dad cut back like bear and stuff. You know, right there in Reedsville. Actually, you go into Walmart, you see the full size bear that my dad did a long time ago. You know, we do. We have done.
There's a full size bear in Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart right there in Reedsville. It's a turkey and a bear up on top of the gun safe. And my dad did both of those years ago. And but yeah, we do a lot of full size stuff. We did a record grizzly bear that a doctor right there out of Reedsville killed several years ago. But yeah, mountain lions, bear, grizzly bear, black bear, you know, anything like that. Yeah, we have done. But my dad's wanting to go now to like only specifically turkeys, and I'm starting to do a lot of his deer for him. So I don't know what he's going to plan to do in the future. I think we had a lot of calls for bear this year, but we didn't take but like 2 or 3, and those are like special people that we know. So we didn't take in much, but we had a lot of calls on stuff. Yeah, we always usually get calls, but my dad's just getting to where he wants to cut it down and do, you know, what he wants to do.
Yeah. I mean, because once you get too big, it's hard to like, you know, it takes years for you guys to get to the level that you're at. I mean, especially from a little kid of being 18 years old and doing this, like it takes a long time. I mean, that's essentially, in my opinion, it's a fucking doctorate degree, dude, because I mean, it just takes you guys spend a lot of time there, dude. Every time I come by, you're there. You're in the shop. Your dad's in the shop. You guys are, you know what I mean? You guys are fucking grinding. I walk in there and he's like taking meat out of a wing and just detail with glasses and just like, dude, it's amazing stuff, man. And
we've been extremely blessed from, you know, like I said, you know, I follow Jesus Christ. I'm saved, and I give all the glory to him.
That's right.
For any blessing that we have. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you know, we're the best. We get, you know, we're just loaded, you know, we do this, we do that. I give it to him. I say he does it for, you know, he gives us the opportunity.
That's right.
So that's just where I'm going to keep it on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have been extremely blessed. We've been able to do a lot of things, but dude, it's a constant grind. Like you just said, you know, you come by the shop, you know, we don't ever stop. He always has something for us to do. So.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, you guys have built something really special. And I think that, you know, anytime that you build something special like that, there's always, you know, it's not easy to do that, man. You know, running a family business, you know.
Exactly.
You see what we do.
Yeah, you know exactly how it is.
It's, there's really no days off. It's 24/7.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If you're like, your own boss.
You're busy, man.
Yeah, you have to manage it.
Yeah, because you want, you know, you do care what people think. And you want to do a good job for
constantly
people.
staying on your game.
Yeah, and it's tough to do that, you know. I mean, I have a lot of outs for that reason, you know, like training jiu-jitsu, lifting weights, you know, And that helps me maintain focus at, the goals and things that
exactly.
I have.
Now, I'm the same way. Like, I like to go to the gym after I try to keep my mind busy constantly, all day from, how it is, morning to night, your work, and then going to the gym after you successfully completed a long day of work, and then wearing yourself out there even more. You've completed a day. Dude, going to get in that bed is the best feeling. Going to get in that shower in that bed is the best feeling. I love going to the gym and doing that stuff as well, especially after a long day. So
well, I was going to ask you, so like you guys grew up there on the farm, right?
Well,
or how'd that work?
It was actually, so right there when you come in our driveway, you get to our house. If you look to the right through the woods, probably, 300 yards, it's all the same farm. It's all the same farm. So, through the woods, probably 300 yards, we had a different house. My mom and dad built brand new when we were little. And we grew up in that house pretty much. And then running over the same farm. Actually, my great-grandparents used to live in that house that we live in now. They own the big part of the farm.
Gotcha.
And then, like I said, all over that farm, that area, those woods, everything was the same. And then they passed away. My aunt inherited the farm, the house. My parents bought the house and the farm from my aunt, and we all moved over there, picked up and moved over there. Like I said, it's not 3 minutes down the road, but that's where the big part and the big house, the big farmhouse is at. So, we moved down there, and we've been there since. So, but same woods, same stomping grounds that I've grown up on in those.
That's crazy.
That probably 300 or 400 acres right there. Yeah, I've that's been my home since I was born.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. Yeah. You guys have hunted there, like you grew up hunting there, right?
Oh
like,
my God, dude! I know them woods like the back of my hand.
Oh, I guarantee it.
And every year feels like it's different, but I can pattern. I feel like all the animals. I've started to figure out how to pattern those woods and stuff to know somewhat what to do. You never figure it out completely, but you can get close.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but different parts of the season.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're out there spending time in there, that's your best bet. And in order to understand, like for instance, in deer hunting, like a lot of guys. I think early on when I first started deer hunting, it was like, you constantly wanted to be out there because you were so highly obsessed.
Right. Exactly.
And then as you continue to grow and learn how to kill mature bucks, there's a time and a place.
Exactly.
It's not 3,000 times a year. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
you just have to hit it right on the head.
Right. You understand. You understand how deer move, and you know where I mean, we have a lot of technology now where you're looking at cameras. Okay, he's in the area. He showed up 3 times. Okay, boom. Now I can bust the move on his ass. So
I think a camera, especially these, everybody knows that the Tacticams, the cell cams, dude. I think that's made a lot of people lazy, and that's what I don't. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's fine. I mean, if it's a serious old deer, you're gonna have trouble killing them either way. It's going. Right. But I mean, I just feel like it makes it more of a. I don't know. That's why. I mean, I like using the camera, but I've gotten to the point where I don't deer hunt a whole bunch anymore because of our processing business. But I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather do it. Kind of like I don't really hunt cameras on my spot really now at all. My spots now at all, because it's like I just rather go in with the climber or saddles now and just hunt, and just see what's going to happen. I feel like that's more exciting for me than it is a camera. But I don't know. I guess everybody's different. I mean, a camera can be fun too, especially if you've been watching the deer since I will running the camera in like June, July, and to watch a deer grow.
Yeah.
And then after that point, I'm probably going to take it up and just start going off of whatever to try to kill the deer. But
yeah, that's I love it, dude. I'm ramped up. I'm pretty burnt out by December usually.
Exactly.
But by the time June rolls around, May, June, I'm starting to get a little warmed up to like killing, dude. I'm ready to rock and roll because I love bow hunting. So
exactly,
we shoot year round here. Like that's bow hunting's kind of my thing.
I can't do it without my bow either,
it's tough, man. It's bow hunting's so hard, man. And I've yet to kill a big buck with. I've killed nice ones. I got a couple on the wall, but not nothing massive yet. I don't know. I seem to like be able, like this last year I was telling one of my buddies, I was like, dude, I can get on deer very well.
Exactly.
I can get on mature bucks very well. I figure out what's going on, and I'm usually every season I'm like dead fucking there.
Right.
This last season I was there.
Exactly.
I took the shot at 13 yards. Where the fuck this deer went, I have no clue. Right? It was like, I looked everywhere, blood, the whole nine.
Right.
Like, I spent that day, the following day, and I'm just in like, what the fuck, man?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I mean, these are super tough animals, and the shot, you know, obviously there's a lot that goes into it when you release an arrow, but it's like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? And you know, there's a lot of guys out here that are heavy, big bow hunters like Cam Haynes. I mean, he fucking shoots bows while he's taking a shit.
Yeah, they make it look easy.
I know, but he does. I mean, those guys put in a lot of work too.
Oh, they
you know
do.
what I mean?
They do.
Like,
now that
for sure.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I mean,
because it's so precise.
Exactly.
I mean, even at like 13 yards, like you've got to be, you know what I mean? And some people can, I don't know, I guess I got an execution problem because I can't seem to execute, you know, and I'm like, okay, what can I do differently this year?
Right.
Or, you know, but you know what? It's the same fucking goal.
Exactly.
We just move in the post. I'm going to continue to keep doing what I'm doing, and eventually I'll get the hang of it, you know?
Exactly.
But, you know, obviously during rifle season, and again, it takes, you know, it takes some years to start understanding. I mean, the game never ends. You're always going to continue to keep learning.
Right.
But, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tough world, dude.
Yeah, I love hunting with my bow as well. I mean, I started out with a little Hoyt, and I bought it and actually made payments on it. My dad would not let me, which has taught me a lot. My dad wouldn't just go in and pay for anything. He made me pay for everything,
neither.
Dude.
That's right.
You know how it is.
And it's a hard lesson, but it's a real life lesson.
It sucks as a kid because you're looking at all your friends and you're like, you know, why are they getting everything just handed to them or whatever? You know how it is. And but yeah, I started out with that Hoyt, making payments on it. I had to pay for it. Went up there like every week and looked at it because I was so excited to get it when I was little. And started out with that, and then moved up to a Matthews now. You know, later on when I really started seriously bow hunting.
Yeah,
but I love my Matthews. I love killing a deer with the bow. It's a lot. You know how much fun it is.
Oh,
it's great. I mean, I don't care if it's a doe, you know, whatever it might be. It's gonna be amazing.
That's right.
The thrill, you know. Yeah. And I started out shooting a rifle when I was a kid. That was fun when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't mind popping the doe in the head with a rifle now. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I like doing that too. But when it comes to a big buck, you know, there's nothing like just waiting it out till it's time to shoot a big buck with your bow. I mean, you know, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
So I love hunting with my bow.
And I would like to go out to Kansas or Missouri and hunt bow during.
Oh, dude.
Because I think Missouri's season, their bow season runs right kind of in rut, I believe.
Right.
So they have a different, you know, where ours is like super early and super fucking hot and ticks everywhere and whatever. You got bit by tick, didn't you?
Yeah, so
What's the thing you got? You can't eat meat, right?
I can't. No, I got alpha gal, dude. Especially.
What's it called?
Alpha gal. Yeah.
Alpha gal.
And my mom got it. My grandpa's got it. All three of us have it. It's weird. So on my mom's side, her dad got it, she got it, and then I got it. But we were the only three out of our family that's actually got it. And, you know, I loved eating, you know, like deer meat. You know, whatever I kill, I love eating.
Yeah.
And it sucked because I have not been able to, I can't eat because, I mean, dude, it about kills you. I mean, hives break out all over your body.
Wow.
Not only that, but your stomach turns up into a knot, dude. It feels like somebody stabbing you in the stomach. I mean, it's really painful. So once you start experiencing that pain, it's like, this is definitely not worth eating red meat for. So then either that or you can go, you know, you can actually go get an acupuncture. But from what I've heard, which will reverse it and make it to where you can eat red meat again. But I know that there's some side effects apparently that, like I've told everybody that's asked me about it, apparently it can give you migraines for the red, like really? They can hit a nerve when they go in there to whatever they do. And it can trigger some nerve and make you have migraines for the rest of your life. And I know people that have migraines, dude, and I just, you know, just from what I've heard, it sounds miserable. So I'm not gonna take a chance on it. And honestly, I haven't eaten red meat in months, and I feel lighter, like I feel a whole lot different than when I was eating, believe it or not. But
you're still eating like eggs and things like that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And chicken and
and I actually
healthy
got
fats and stuff like that. Can you drink like a protein shake, like whey protein or anything?
Yeah. I can.
Okay, so as long as it's okay.
And I thought about trying, you know, because I kill a lot of ducks, and I've honestly thought about trying that, but that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know how it would, because, you know, it says anything with a hoof And I feel like duck claws. Like I feel like it trips me out because I'm like I don't want to go through that pain. So should I try it or not? You know what I'm saying?
Just take no, don't do that. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. You know
I just don't want to take a chance on it. So
yeah, but actually, chicken, fish, something like that, you're good with it, right?
Absolutely. I actually developed it and I know exactly when I got it. It was last turkey season. I stayed.
Did you get bit by a tick?
Yeah, I hunted last year every day. Just about like I completely stopped working. I stayed in the woods all day, every day last year, which was I actually got unhealthy at some point because I was hunting so much and I got eat up in ticks and I got to the point where I thought it was gonna be all right. I wasn't paying attention to it and I wasn't spraying with permethrin like I should have been, and it was last year that I developed it. Because I got bit by so many ticks last year from last turkey season. It was at some point, and I got bit by that tick apparently with the white dot in the back, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
That's what does it.
That's what they say, but I pulled 1 million of them off of me. It's just last year that I developed
What, ankles, legs, all over?
Absolutely.
You were just laid up in them, huh?
Everywhere. I mean, it's just, if you don't spray for it, it's going to be rough.
Yeah. I get them. I get them occasionally, but I'm fuck that, dude.
Exactly.
That I spray for sure. I mean, even mosquitoes, dude. Like, I promise you this, dude. During bow season, if like the wind's not ready to stand,
right,
I'm not going in. Period.
Exactly.
Because I'm putting fucking mosquito repellent on me.
Exactly.
Like I just, that part of the year we get eaten up with them.
Yeah, and I should have did better care with how, last year. And I actually thought about it. Like something told me like you need to, because my dad would always stay on me about it. And last year I just got so carried away with hunting, dude. I just didn't pay attention to it. And I acted like it wasn't a thing. And then I paid for it because I developed it and it really has sucked. But I think it has made me, I don't know. I feel like it's made me healthier to some degree. I don't know why. I just feel like it has. I mean, I feel totally different. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody's different in that context.
Right.
I mean, as far as like whether it's red meat or not,
right.
There is a ton of health benefits obviously coming from red meat.
Exactly.
I mean, because there is a difference between grain fed and grass fed.
Exactly.
So, going on like a more carnivore diet is very healthy for you.
But that's the thing though, dude. Like,
but it's per individual. I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist.
I'm not
and
either.
expert, but I can, see, you feel better. Now I feel better when I'm not eating as many carbs and I'm eating more meat. And I feel better.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously it's to each their own, but obviously if you've got bit and you're eating red meat and you're fucking sick, like
I was trying to figure out what it was. Like I go through a day, my mom was like, you need to figure out what you're allergic to or whatever. Cause I asked her, I was like, I'm breaking out. I'm like, what's the deal? And she said, go through every day, look at what you're doing, what you're eating and try to pick it out. So I did. And, I did everything, and then I got right in it. She said, it might be alpha-gal, because, you're having the same symptoms I have. So then I was like, well, let's try it. So I started eating bacon and steak, and it got me bad. Like, I thought I was going to die at one point.
Jesus.
I'm going to be honest, it was rough. And it goes on for a couple of hours, and then once it gets out of your system, it goes away. So once it gets out of your bloodstream, it goes away.
So you're just eating a lot of chicken and
chicken, fish,
eggs.
Yeah,
you guys got a bunch of freaking chickens out there, don't you?
Yeah, my mom, she does all that. She has chickens and turkeys and everything else. She has every animal you can think of. So.
Those damn turkeys. When we pulled up next to him the other day, Easton was like, I rolled the window down. Of course, he's doing this turkey call. They're down hounding out at him, dude.
Yeah,
it's a kick, dude. But yeah, so you have. How many siblings do you have? You have two sisters and a brother?
Yeah, 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Okay, and you're the oldest?
No, I have a sister. I think she's 22 or 23.
Okay.
And then I have another sister. She's 19. And then my brother is 15, about to turn 16. And then, like I said earlier.
So you're number 3?
Yeah, I'm the 3rd child.
I got you.
I'm like middle.
Okay, so, yeah. I think I've seen one of them there one time maybe working. I don't know.
Yeah, they all kind of... if they're not working or messing around, they're not really about being down there. I mean, they do some, but my brother, he's into mechanic stuff. Everybody took a different path except for me. I stayed going in what my dad did, but everybody else. I mean, my mom, she's down there constantly. With the process, and how that is, dude. she runs all that. So she's the boss for all that down there. She's the brains and a lot of physical parts too. She runs a lot down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brothers and sisters, my brother and sisters, they're not ever down there except for my brother every now and then. So
yeah, I saw him during deer season. He was down there helping out and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. And they and then your mom, dude, she rocks it pretty good. She's,
oh my Lord,
she's here, there, everywhere, pulling up, moving this, grabbing this, doing this, taking calls. Like
I'm telling you, man, you know how she
bro.
is. If it wasn't for my mom, me and my dad would just be dragging our ass. You know, we just be doing what we do. We wouldn't. The processing wouldn't even exist.
Or you guys would be butting heads more.
yeah. She stays
because mom. Just okay, boys,
right,
relax.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
She's great. Man.
She's a great woman. I love my mom. Yeah.
She's been very gracious to us, and just it's pretty cool to see that, man. I don't know. I get a kick out of going there, man. I think about going up there all the time. I'm just like, man, now that we're a little bit closer, I guess we're not too far.
Yeah,
we're not too far now. So how long did it take you? 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think it was right at 28, 30 minutes.
It's not far.
But I mean, it's pretty out here too, coming down y'all's driveway. The white oaks and stuff it was pretty. It was great.
Isn't it cool?
It is. It's a really nice place.
I can't wait till it gets starts getting like green
Spring.
and stuff out here.
I can't wait either.
It's gonna be great.
Turkey
seasons are coming in. Yeah. Oh, Easton's already asking about it because this last year we went a couple times, 4 or 5 times last year. I killed one down kind of near the coast.
Yeah.
I think we'll go back there again this year. Cut a whiskey, and but now Easton's like
he's ready to start. How old is he now?
Well, he'll be 6 in May.
Okay.
But so he's there, but
he's definitely there.
He's there, but we're trying to get him used to the shotgun. He's still a little gun shy. We think we don't. I don't know what. I don't know. I think Taylor and I talked about this. Like for some reason, he's just a little gun shy. Like from the sound, he does not like loud sounds. He hates it. And when she was when Taylor was pregnant with Easton, we were out at my sister's place, and I can't remember what gun we shot. But like he had been like kicking all day, like he was getting ready to be born, and we were out there, and
loud noises.
She shot this. I can't even remember what the hell it was.
I just wonder if that played an effect.
And that's what I think happened because he was getting ready to pop out. He popped out like a month later.
Yeah, right.
And I think we were out there shooting, and we were driving home, and she's like, "He hadn't kicked for the last like 3 hours. What the hell's going on?"
Right.
And dude, I can't remember what it was. Some handgun that she shot. Fucking loud, dude. Anyway, so that's what I draw it back to is that when we were out there shooting, he's a little gun shy. But now I think we're just gonna we were out here shooting clay pigeons last week, me and my buddy, and
he's curious. I mean,
he's curious, and I'm not pushing him or pressuring him into anything. I don't, as much as you as a parent, and hopefully one day you get to do this. You really, really want your kid to do something.
Exactly.
So you always, you see parents like pressuring them and like, you got to do it. And I think the approach is the reverse psychology is if you play the reverse, if you do reverse psychology on them, like you're saying, instead of saying, get your ass in the van, you're going,
right.
You want to create it to where they want to go as far as like, all right, like, if you don't start acting good, then you're not going to go.
Exactly.
If you're acting bad, you're not going.
Right.
And so he's like, okay, I want to go. So now I'm acting good.
Exactly.
So, for him, he's a smart little dude, but
he's smart as well. He's a good kid.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Yeah. But I want him, this is part of why I'm doing what I'm doing here, even on the podcast, is so that, later on in life, he can hear these kind of conversations.
And by the time he gets to the point to start understanding stuff, it's gonna, he'll really appreciate it.
How old were you when you killed your first turkey?
I think I was 6. I was 6.
No shit.
Yep, I was 6 when I killed my.
So he has to kill one this year.
Yeah, we need to take him. He needs to kill a bird for sure. Yeah, I was 6, but it's like you said earlier. My dad was taking me and doing stuff when I was in diapers and trying to convince my mom to let me go for a little while. My dad got me into it super early. I mean, like super early. So,
she said he used to go out and practice calling like your dad a lot.
Yeah, my dad is he ain't gonna want me to brag on him, but my dad's an amazing caller.
Is he really?
If my dad wanted to, he could he can win absolutely win some calling contests, but he just
really,
yeah, my dad's amazing.
Now, when you guys like the calls you guys use, do you guys use like Kimmy's stuff?
Yeah, Kimmy Hanks. Yeah, Hanks game calls. Yeah, I shout them out for sure.
Yeah, they're
y'all
good
need to
stuff.
check them out. Yeah, they're really good. Ever since I was little, going around their shop and stuff, and Austin and his dad Kimmy, they're great people, and they got some really good calls.
Yeah, they were really very welcoming to Easton when we went to. We saw them in. Oh, what was it?
Dixie Deer Classic.
No, well, I don't think
WTF.
Yep. Last year we went to it in Nashville.
Was it in Nashville? How long did it take you to get there? Was it
4, maybe 5 hours?
I got you.
Are you gonna go?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to go.
You're going this year?
I'd love to try to go, dude.
Have you been there?
Not to the
You got to
NWTF.
go.
Yeah, I need
to.
Dude,
the Gaylord Opry Center is amazing. It's like yes, dude. It's freaking kick ass.
Yeah, I've been to the Dixie Deer Classic so many times.
Right.
And I'm gonna actually try to take a bird up there and advertise.
You should.
If anybody's there coming up here soon. I think it's in March.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to go. I'm definitely gonna take a bird up there and advertise at the Dixie Deer, but not NWTF is something that was kind of put on the back burner for me. My dad never really mentioned it because I think it was so far, and we've always had stuff going on. My dad had never I know my dad's been, but he's never taken me unless he took me when I was little, and I don't remember it. But from what I remember, I haven't been. But I'm actually gonna try to go this year.
You should, dude. It's a really good experience. You kind of get you get like it's a. You get to see like how big the industry is.
Exactly.
Like there is so many companies out there that you have no clue. Like that, I was like, who are you? I've never seen. And then you go and research them online. You're like, oh, okay. And you start picking up some different products and things like that to try and use. And there's legit stuff, and it's cool because you're in your world, man. Like when you're there,
you get lost in that stuff,
bro.
That's just like the Dixie Deer Classic. That's why I like going.
Yeah, for sure.
Turkey calls, mounts. There's just the sky's the limit with that stuff.
Oh yeah, and the Dixie Deer Classic. That's like, we go every year. We're gonna go again this year.
Yeah,
I'd like to go to out there to Nashville. I'd like to stay a couple days actually, but problem is it's so booked up. Everything's so booked up.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go, you start. I think is it coming up here in a couple weeks
for the NWTF?
Yeah,
I think so. I think it's pretty soon. I'm not sure of the dates because if I say I won't even be close if I try to guess. But
yeah, you need to go. Are they going? The Hanks? Are they probably going?
I'm sure they'll definitely be there.
My dumbass forgot to plug the laptop in.
It happened.
I mean, there's like a million damn cords with these fucking things, dude.
I don't know how you do it. It's definitely not mine.
But we were talking about like going to these shows and stuff like that, and it's pretty intimidating because there's just like so many businesses and so many people want to sell you things, and so many people have all these different ideas and techniques and ways they do things and different game calls. And
exactly. It's top-notch stuff.
It's good stuff, yeah. And so, I think the thing for me was okay, what do I not know about?
Right.
And who do I need to seek out some information from? Because it's a great place.
Yeah, those people and those shows and stuff. If you wanna learn anything, about what's going on with the NWTF, the Dixie Deer Classic, going to those shows and putting yourself around those people, it's definitely the thing to do. Especially, it's a lot of good guys that go there. I know a lot of people that go to those, so it's definitely a good community, and it's a good. How it is. It's a good time either way.
I enjoy going to them. I would like to go to Dixie Deer or NWTF this year, but I don't know if we're going to make that happen or not.
Yeah.
But I hope that you can at least make it happen this year because that's a place to be.
Yeah, I definitely, sitting in the truck for hours on end is no fun, but it's definitely worth it.
So I did ask your dad last time I was here. I was kind of like, so what's your guys' like future goals and things like that for the business? Like, What are you guys trying to do in the future? Like, what do you kind of envision as it? Obviously you're kind of the next up and coming in the family with this business, and eventually one day you'll probably take it over or whatever. I don't know what your plans are, but what do you kind of envision it as? What do you think every once in a while that you kind of can envision for your guys' family business?
Well, now now that I've separated myself with waterfowl, like I do run my own business separate from my dad. I don't know. I know he's going to go a long ways in turkeys, and and then I'll go. I hope, pray that I go a long ways in ducks. That it'll get to the point to where we just kind of cut back. You know, I don't know. It depends. I mean, it just depends if I want to try to take on a certain amount of deer, because I think my dad's getting to the point where, you know, he's done it for, like I said, he's done it for over 30 years. And he's getting to the point to where he does, you know, deer and stuff he's not really interested in. So for the future, you know, if I want to take on a certain amount of deer and then do all my ducks, you know, just manage what I can.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably what's going to happen. And I've recently just applied for the Greensboro Fire Department, as my dad does. You know, he's a captain in Greensboro.
Yeah, that's great.
And you know, he tries to manage both, and he does a great job at it. But I don't know if Lord willing, if I go into that other job and, you know, I do taxidermy as a side, I'm going to just, you know, for the future reference, I'm just going to cut it down to what I can handle and try to manage it like my dad has done. And, you know, I know he's going to keep on grinding hard with those turkeys and try to, and, you know, he loves it just like I love ducks. So I don't know. I feel like he'll eventually just get out of the whole deer thing. As far as mounting them goes now with the processing, we all have to do that as a team. You know, if we don't, it won't function.
That's right.
As a family. So
yeah, that's right.
But yeah, as far as the future goes, that's just what I'm thinking for right now.
So you're thinking of going in the fire world, huh?
Yeah, it ain't thinking now. I'm
you're
balls to the wall. Yeah, I've done put my application in. Yeah, so
nice.
And I actually have here coming up. Hopefully, I'll be getting an interview to go ahead and get going with that process.
Really? And so do you have to go through? You got to go through like a
academy
and everything.
Out there in Greensboro. You have to, or here actually, it's right not far from here. But you have to, at the training center, you have to put your application in, get an interview. They have to, if you're successful with the interview, they hire you. You start getting you get on the pay, and then you start, but you're doing training until, you know, till you get past the 6 months. So you get out of training, and then you get on the truck and you start riding. And then, you know, if you make it through, which making it through is you obviously know it's not an easy task. So,
no.
Which is really concerned. I mean, I'm concerned about some things, and, you know, have worries and stuff, but, you know, that's with anything, so I might as well go ahead and give it a try.
Yeah, you should.
I'm really excited about that.
I mean, you're fit, you're young, you know, you know, you're fortunate enough that your dad's involved. He's a captain, and he, you know, can show you things and teach you things as well.
He's definitely going to be a good mentor.
But he's going to be a good mentor, but he's going to be like, get your own fucking bruises, buddy.
Right, exactly.
You got to work for your own stuff.
That's the thing about my dad, though, dude. He's not just he's
bro. Look, I respect it though. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, dude, when you get older, I mean, when you're 30, bro, 10 to 12, 15 more years, once your frontal cortex is completely developed, because it won't be developed fully until 25, so they say, you're going to respect that shit, dude, because it's fucking rare. Yeah. And I respect your dad for that kind of shit, dude, because, like, you know, there needs to be, and I'm listening to that shit, you know, for my own parenting skills. You know what I mean? I'm an open book as far as, like, how am I going to parent, like, you know,
if you're not a teachable person.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. You know how that goes.
He's a dog, dude. I mean,
he is, man. He's gonna make it. He's gonna keep me right there. He's gonna make me reach up there and jump. Like, he's not gonna. He's not gonna say, here you go. He's never been that way since I can just remember knowing my dad. No. So but it's taught, man. It's made me the man that I am because of my dad.
I can guarantee you, the skill level that you have being a taxidermist comes from that stuff. Absolutely. Obviously, you probably have good genetics. You're an artist at heart and things like that. Like, that's, you know, like, I can't draw shit, dude.
Exactly.
Taylor can whip up some sick stuff. Me, like, bro, stick figures and dogs. Exactly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
circles.
That's just like with your line of business. I probably wouldn't be able to do that. So, I mean, it does revolve around that. But the main thing, like I said earlier, dude, the forefront of everything is keeping God in front and asking Him to give me the skill set. If I've went running my business before, and if I try to get greedy or put myself up there and make it look like, oh, I'm just good at this, I'm so good, you know, I'm better than all these other guys, you know, I've done that before, and then I gotten in my lowest place and had nothing in my business, and then I started putting God back at the front of everything.
100%.
Everything. Freezers start filling back up, dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you don't do that, we can sit here and talk, but, you know, main thing is God. But yeah, for sure.
You're trusting in the process and having some faith, man. I mean, I think that
you got to.
You know, you can. You know, it's like kind of like that saying goes that, like, you know, hard work beats talent.
Right.
You know, but when someone's super talented and is working hard,
right?
That's a bad
that's a smash up. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a smash up.
It's just one of them things that, you continue to keep working hard, and sometimes we don't know the answers, man. Like we're not, I think if you try to get too involved in trying to seek answers all the time, dude, you're kind of missing the journey.
Yeah,
It's like the
you got to rewind it,
yeah,
kind of relax a little bit. But
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if I had the power to hand you over a black belt and give you all the experience I could ever give you, if I was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and if I keep training, maybe one day I will be, I wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
I wouldn't give you that because I would never want to rob you of the journey.
Exactly.
And that's like even faith with, God and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like this is a journey, man. Like we all come in and out. We all, and I noticed that. I notice when I start putting God in the forefront, and I'm not a big church goer.
Now,
you know what I mean? But
that's a whole different rabbit hole.
Right.
Church is a whole different
right.
rabbit hole.
And you don't have to have a relationship with God to go to church. That's bullshit. Anybody who tells you that, come on, dude. Stop it. Look at the life that I live. You know what I mean? I'm not in church every Sunday.
Exactly.
But
it's
always
not all about church.
No, because you know what God stands for? Good, orderly direction.
Right.
If you're a good fucking human, man, great things will happen to you. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, just following His word really, and staying in the Scripture and reading your Bible and doing
that helps.
I mean, being, if you do that, you're going to be a better person for yourself.
That's right.
Staying in that stuff. But yeah, dude, church is just like. Churches have turned things, and I feel like, it says in the Bible, things are going to get worse as time goes on, before God comes back. But I feel like churches are just, they're so overrated now. Like they put the people and the money and the building above everything else, and it's about God. It's about taking care of a family and being a family, one together, and loving Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
And and people have put I feel like it's everything else but that nowadays. And that's why, I'm the same with church. I mean, I know Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I'm saved from Him dying on the cross for me. But, church is just like, and that's all you literally have to get into heaven. But, churches is just, we're burnt out on church, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame.
And that's, that's kind of where I stand too, is like, Easton, always asking about God. Mm-hmm. And, it's crazy because like he asked one time about it. I don't even know where he heard it from. Mm. It wasn't anything that I said or Taylor said to him. Yeah. This was like years, like 3 years ago. He's like, who's God? Exactly. We were both like, what? That's weird, bro.
And
none of us said anything. I never said because I'm not going to push stuff on him.
Exactly.
But we talk about God and things like that, and we'll pray, and we probably should do it more often. But it's crazy that like. I don't know. I'm like in search of this church or something, some type of group that I can involve my family in that I feel like is
right. And that's hard to find.
I don't even know, bro. Like I'm not knocking churches. I think they're great, and I think it's just like it's like this old archaic way of doing things. I mean, I grew up in a Catholic church. Exactly. Nothing against Catholic. Excuse me, but I've been to Baptist churches. I've been to Mormon churches. And it's just kind of like, man, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like,
exactly.
I just think that like a church only consists of 2 or more people.
Exactly.
And if you're talking to one other person about God, then you're in church, man.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that you have to show up to this place and do all these things. It helps because that's a place for education. I don't know. I mean, I feel better, but like, that's a place to learn about God.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like, there's dudes and priests or not like preachers and stuff that know way more about this than I do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This is like their thing. But I think that you're right, man. Like keeping that at the forefront of anything that you do in life is like the most important thing.
Dude. That's people are always asking me like, people get so excited talking about the stuff, and they're like, y'all do so much work. I'm like, no, dude, it's not me. It's a God working through me.
For sure.
Because you have to thank Him for it and be thankful, because if you're not and you don't keep Him at the forefront, like I said, if you start putting yourself first, He'll take it all away from you. And I'm being dead serious because I've done it. and because I thought I was going to be able to do it and get away with it. And, you know, once you've asked, all you have to do is ask Jesus in your heart. For anybody that's watching that's not saved, all you have to do is ask Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior in your heart. And everything will change. It's not hard, dude.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's just like we were saying. You don't have to go to church to you know, to be saved. So
no, I mean I've been baptized twice, dude.
Yeah,
and that shit still didn't fucking work, dude.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. All you had to do
I was hard-headed. I was a hard-headed motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. It took me till my late 20s to like finally like relinquish my ego, and you know what ego stands for, right? You ready for another one? Here's another fucking diamond I'm about to send it. You know what ego stands for?
What's that?
Edging God out.
Right.
Boom. Right? And you know,
everything has a meaning.
once I was able to kind of like and I'm not saying you need a little ego. Don't get it twisted. You need a little confidence and you need a little ego, because
but not too much.
Too much anything hurt you.
Exactly.
But you got to have it. You know what I mean? Because there's times where you got to step up
act like a female. You know what I'm saying?
you kind of need to, you kind of need to step. I mean,
being a man is what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not talking bad. I'm just saying you got to be a man is what I'm saying.
Well, it's all good, dude. You know, like, I get what you're saying. Exactly. I was going to say something I probably shouldn't have said. But that's okay. Well, you know, everybody's different, man. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're right. Like, it's super important for me anyways. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's kind of got their own individual paths and things like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, you can tell when people are connected to other people. And you're kind of like, why... You know, why did Jonah show up, or why did we talk about doing a podcast, and why am I having this? Like, I don't know where this is going to take me. I have no clue. I have no idea. I just think it's super fun. It's interesting to see guys like yourself that are super talented, up and coming, young. You're 18, dude. There's not many of you around.
Right.
Like, there's not young people that have that kind of talent around, and that's just like it's super amazing to see that. So,
and I think it should. You know, I don't know if it will or not, because I don't know who's really being brought up in it other than me. I mean, I know a couple other people, but they're 50, 60, 70 years old that do taxidermy. Like you said, it's not many young people. I mean, it'd be cool to see a lot of younger people to come up in it, but I just don't feel like it will. I think it's something that's fading out, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know they don't have like schools and stuff you can go to.
Yeah, absolutely. They have something for each. I mean, you can just about do each species at school. There's somebody out there that'll do it.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on here. I think we're gonna go ahead and we'll wrap this up.
I do appreciate.
Man, dude. Anytime I want to do it again, dude.
Absolutely.
We'll have to I want to bring your pops on here too, and talk to him about it. You know, him growing up and kind of his thought process behind.
Yeah, he'd be a good one.
Taxidermy.
I don't know what exactly he talk about, but
I'm sure
he's got plenty of good stories too.
Yeah, and what's your like? Where can people kind of find you on social media? What's your social media account?
It's Knowles Jonah. And you can find me on there on Instagram.
Knowles Jonah.
Yep, Knowles Jonah.
Just Knowles Jonah.
Yeah, just Knowles.
Okay,
Jonah,
cool.
Yeah. And that's one thing.
Okay, and you're the meat processing and the taxidermist for Long Row.
Yeah, it's just Long Row Farms. You can find that on Facebook or Instagram as well.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom runs all that on that account. So
cool.
Yep.
And you guys sell like merchandise stuff up there too.
Yeah,
now. You got sick hats.
Yeah. This year,
dope hats, dude.
Yeah, this year she come out. My mom. Like I said, me and my dad don't do that stuff. She runs all that. So she come out with a lot of merch, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, beanies.
Wow, you said beanies.
Yeah, she just came out with some beanies.
Yep. Everybody says toboggans around here, dude.
Yep, toboggan, beanie. Yeah, she just came out with some here in the last couple months. So did she have any the last time you were at the shop, or did she not have them out yet?
What the hats and stuff?
The toboggan.
No, I didn't see any when I was there. No, but I saw. I mean, it looked like you got some different camo hats in or something like that too. So it looks good. Yeah, you guys are doing a great job, and super pumped for you, man. And keep up the hard work, dude. You're a talented young man, and I'm super blessed to know you and your family.
Same with y'all. I love y'all's family.
Yeah, man. Great awesome, people. Dude. Well, we'll cut it off, dude, and we'll do it again.
Heck yeah, man.
Appreciate it, man.